Building strong relationships is essential for any farmer and rancher. By establishing personal relationships, you cultivate loyalty and trust, which can lead to growth and increased profitability. Not only that, but strong relationships help strengthen a community. For more than 100 years, Nebraska Farm Bureau has been building relationships and cultivating a strong community of farm and ranch families. Key relationships essential to Farm Bureau's success are those with people in public office. Having elected officials who understand the importance of agriculture and the role it plays in supporting our state's economy is critical to advancing policies that will help farm and ranch families. In 2022, Nebraska Farm Bureau played a major role in helping the first agricultural governor in 100 years be elected. Farm Bureau's endorsement of Governor Jim Pillen was a game changer, and now the relationship between the organization and the governor has led to a breakthrough in the decades-long fight to reduce property taxes. Legislation passed this year will result in an estimated 30% relief in property taxes by 2030 and provides more state funding for K-12 schools, as well as reducing the income tax rate. What started as an idea on a Nebraska farm led to solidifying a relationship that would allow farmers and ranchers the right to repair their own equipment. Nebraska Farm Bureau put forward the national policy that enabled American Farm Bureau to sign right to repair memorandums of understanding with agricultural equipment manufacturers that now brings industry coverage to 70%.
Being a Farm Bureau member, you can change technically the world and stuff, and that's one thing that I've loved with being Farm Bureau is any member can bring any resolution up and go forward and on up.
Nebraska Farm Bureau understands that access to high-speed, high-quality broadband service is essential to Nebraska's farmers and ranchers and rural communities. Through legislation, Farm Bureau helped secure $405 million in federal funding to expand broadband and championed establishing the Nebraska Broadband Office. While carriers, providers, and telecoms continue to grapple with federal and state monies to get quality broadband to rural areas, Nebraska Farm Bureau thought it was important to take the broadband service issue into its own hands by establishing a new relationship with an internet provider ready to deploy service now. With the newest member benefit partner, Starlink, members can get 2 months free service when subscribing to Starlink for high-speed broadband internet service. Starlink is ideal for those who live and work in rural communities who are wanting high-speed, high-quality internet service. Our grassroots approach is what makes Nebraska Farm Bureau the trusted voice for Nebraska farm and ranch families. Farm Bureau members in 86 counties across the state come together to discuss and vote on policies affecting their farms and ranches and communities. When several farmers in Sarpy County were facing unreasonable property tax bills after their farmland was annexed by the city of Gretna, they turned to their county Farm Bureau. Nebraska Farm Bureau helped get legislation passed that preserves the special valuation for annexed agricultural land, saving more than $50,000 annually for affected farms.
Farm Bureau got things done in a hurry. Tim Bauer, my son, and Jim Harder met in Lincoln the first week in January, and we met Bruce Riker in the State Farm Bureau office. As soon as we got in the parking lot, first thing Tim Bauer said to me was, "We can never get this done by ourselves."
Farm Bureau believes in developing tomorrow's leaders today. From hosting national affairs visits to Washington, D.C. with Farm Bureau's Leadership Academy to connecting young farmers and ranchers at our annual YF&R conference, Farm Bureau is ensuring a strong future for agriculture. The goal of these programs is to equip the future leaders of Farm Bureau with the tools they need to successfully advocate for agriculture, connect with members, and embody the grassroots mission.
It's been really great to get all the leadership experience. Me being kind of a younger person yet, I haven't done a lot of leadership things, but it has transferred into my off-the-farm job. Taking one of the classes that we took during Leadership Academy, I then took into my own work experience, and my boss was like, wow, like that really explains who you are, and like we understand you so much better. So it was fun to be able to take an experience I had with Farm Bureau, but also transfer it into like my daily life and my work life.
As young farmers and ranchers build connections with one another and are engaged with Farm Bureau, our influence is unmatched. Their voices are critical in telling agriculture's story at a time when fewer generations know where their food comes from. The Nebraska Farm Bureau Foundation continues to bridge that gap. This year, 812 classroom visits were completed, 72 FFA chapters participated in the Connecting Chapters program, more than 3,500 students enjoyed summer programming, and more than $81,000 were awarded in scholarships. A strong relationship based on a shared goal of promoting agricultural literacy will mean more children concentrated in the most urban part of the state will have the opportunity to experience agriculture hands-on. Mary Lou Schinker has pledged to hand over her farm just south of Fremont to the foundation to become a learning farm for kids one day. Mary Lou says it will make her happy for someone to have the farm who will really enjoy and use it. The spirit of farm and ranch communities has always been one of working together, but it's not just hard work and dedication. Cultivating strong relationships is essential in advancing agriculture and strengthening rural communities. Nebraska Farm Bureau looks to the future for ways we can have an even larger impact together, all focusing on achieving our vision of a great quality of life and prosperity for Nebraska farm and ranch families.